Hey, welcome back to Desert Dynasty. It's your boy, Zephyr and Adam. Bro, the NFL draft is 1 week away, and things are getting real fast. The Arizona Cardinals are sitting at the top of the board with the franchise-shaping decision, and nobody really knows which direction we're gonna go. Do we reach for a quarterback? Do we trade down? Do we build the trenches? Or do we shock everybody and draft my favorite pick, Jeremiah Love? Today, we're breaking down everything, biggest scenarios, bold predictions, and what this draft could mean for the future of the Cardinals. Let's get into it, Desert Dynasty fans, and welcome back, baby.
What is going on? Welcome back, Sefa. It is a crazy week this week, dude. We've got so much for our listeners today. It's going to be an insane podcast today.
Oh, heck yeah, man. And I'm excited. We're 1 week away. This time next week, when we're recording, it's going to be the NFL draft. I can't believe that April's flying by and just so much is going on. So excited to be back, excited to have this podcast. And shout out to Junior, who couldn't make it today. I know you could hear this on Friday. He's going to listen to this. We miss you, brother, and we'll see you next week for the draft. But
Yes, sir.
my goodness, Adam, first freaking and foremost, welcome back. And also, how have you been? How are you going? How are you doing?
I mean, just like you said, it's just flying by right now. So the year, I was just at Grandma Rose's house, and I was just like, the year's going by so fast. And she's like, it happens like that, like all the time. Like just life passes you by. So enjoy your kiddos. I was like, I'm trying, man, but man,
I'm
that would be
trying.
killing me, dude. That would be killing
Yeah,
me. Atticus roasts me on the daily. It just is what it is at this point. So,
exactly,
how
man.
about you, bro?
Good, same, dude, same. Just everything's going by so fast. The weekends go too fast, and then
I
I'm back at
know.
work. So I feel like I gotta plan something so I could look forward to like a vacation or something. You know
Well,
what I
you were
mean?
saying, what is it called? There was like people who study like why time goes by so fast, and when you have a
Hmm.
schedule, like time feels like it's going way faster than it actually is, right?
Yeah, there's some kind of study where the scientists were like, why does it feel like time is moving faster? How can I slow down? And something about it was that if you live in a routine life, um, how your brain works is when you have a routine, your memories kind of jumble because it's not a big, something big didn't happen the day any day that you have. But if you have stuff that's outside your routine, or you have events that go on that are not normal in your life, then they're going to stick out in your memories, and your life's going to feel longer because you have so much memories and so much new things going on. So the
Okay.
science experiment basically was like, do new things and shake up your routine, so it doesn't always feel like the same thing every day, because if it does, then you're not going to remember a lot in the future, and life's going to go by fast. Apparently, I can't remember
Gotcha.
where it was, but that was the thought process, and I was like, "Dang,
Well,
there's some
point of
truth to
that
that."
is do new experiences at all times, otherwise your life's gonna pass you by. That's what that sounds like to me. So, which
Exactly.
I need to get out, man. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
we need to
man.
get out. Hey, next week the draft, bruh. We
Hey,
need to
we
get
got the
out.
draft, and I got
Yeah,
practice that night, and then
yep,
it's first round of playoffs next week for me,
dude.
so
Let's
that's gonna be
go.
crazy.
It's
So,
gonna be exciting, man.
yeah, I think this week we played like the best team from Northern Colorado. They come down, so
Okay,
they're pretty nuts. So it's gonna be a big game this week too. So
let's
it's gonna be
go. Good
crazy.
luck.
Yeah, thanks,
Hell
bro.
yeah. Um, One thing too, to all of the new subscribers and people in the Desert Dynasty community, we appreciate y'all. But we do like to shout out all of our people who make comments on our videos, whether it's on YouTube or on Spotify. Robert Moore, 3088. Shout out to you, man. We appreciate you reading your comment back from last episode. Hey guys, found your video. Cardinals discussion on YouTube is scarce, so I appreciate your content. I have a source that is pretty close to the Jets, and he says it's a free pick that they take Reese at 2. And my God, that's music to our ears here at Desert Dynasty. We really hope that the Jets take Arvel Reese, because we're afraid that the Cardinals will take him if he falls to 3. So I love that. What do you think about that, Adam?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's news that came out today that kind of supports exactly that, which is David Bailey had a meeting with the Jets canceled today. He is no longer meeting with them. A top 30 visit, no longer meeting with the Jets. Question, I mean, is that a lock for sure between Robert's comments and then also this canceled visit that they're going over Arvell Reese and we're going maybe David Bailey at 3?
Yeah, man. You sent that right before the podcast we were recording, and I was shocked. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody and their mother mock drafts all over the place. NFL analysts, everyone is saying, "Oh, they swapped from Arvell Reese to David Bailey," and everyone's like, "Oh, David Bailey's the guy now for the New York Jets," and all this stuff. And now the news came out that the Jets canceled their top 30 visit with David Bailey. That's shocking news because honestly, I don't even know. I'm pretty sure they're not going to draft somebody if they cancel their visit, right? Unless there's a smoke screen, but I doubt it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they met with him before the combine or whatever, like the Cardinals did with certain people. But let's say they didn't meet with him before the combine and now they just canceled this visit. I think it's a go that they're not drafting David Bailey. Why wouldn't you? Why
Yeah,
wouldn't you do that, you know?
it
Um,
it seems weird that you would cancel a top 30 visit last minute, especially when today was the last day to do top 30. So
yeah.
I don't know. That seems fishy, and that's huge news for the Cardinals. And I do think that the Jets could easily take Arvell Reese. They love him, and he was originally the favorite to go too. So we'll see.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see what happens. And then, I mean, that leads to the conversation, which we'll dive more deep into is like, do we actually still sit at 3 if David Bailey's available, or do we still consider trading down? So that's going to be an interesting topic. Keep
Hmm.
listening if y'all want to hear those end results. So,
Hell yeah. Yeah, and we'll just dive right in. So basically, my question and my topic that I wanted to bring up is why do the Cardinals have to take a quarterback? I know our quarterback room is like, you know, one of the worst in the league probably. We have Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew. But there's this narrative going around that we have to take Ty Simpson or we're the favorites to draft him and all this stuff. But why? That's my question for you, Adam. Why do we have to take a quarterback?
you don't. That's a straight up answer. If you want me to dive more into it, really the answer is you don't need to draft Ty Simpson because he's a third round draft pick in any other draft. If you want to draft a quarterback, it's going to be no earlier than the third round, and that's if we get a plenty of picks in the first and second round. I think we're not going to draft a quarterback until the fourth or fifth round. It's going to be if Carson Beck falls into our lap in the fourth round, we're drafting him. If we don't get Carson Beck and he gets, we get jumped and he gets picked before us, then our eyes are on Drew Alar. We also interviewed Messmeyer from LSU, and then if it goes even lower, we might even take a flyer on the Robertson kid from Baylor who showed a lot of promise. We interviewed him at the combine, so that's another one to keep an eye out. But I don't think we reach for anybody in this draft, which is what a lot of people are thinking. Um, you know, Especially with Ty Simpson, I just think if he falls into your lap, take him. If he doesn't, it is what it is.
Yeah, and I mean that was kind of my argument in our group chat, Desert Dynasty group chat was like, why do we need to take a quarterback, especially Ty Simpson, with such high draft capital? I understand, with our 2026 draft circumstances, you do have to overpay for him because he's the second best quarterback in this draft. But in my opinion, he's going to be a flyer no matter what. Because if Ty Simpson doesn't work out this year, 2027, we're drafting another quarterback. So why are we
Mhm.
taking a high draft capital pick, investing it in Ty Simpson if he's literally a flyer, if he's literally a guy that we're trying to see if he can be good in our system, right? Um, in my opinion, take a flyer on Carson Beck, Drew L.R., Garrett Nussmeier, like we've been saying. One of those three guys, it's the same damn thing. They're going to sit behind Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew, no matter what.
Mhm.
So I'd rather use that if we get extra capital in the first round, second round, on an edge rusher, a D lineman, obviously an offensive tackle. And it just seems like all over the place. Everyone's like Ty Simpson this, Ty Simpson that. Like I don't know. I don't understand it, But at the same time, me and Adam, we're not delusional Cardinal fans. We know that the Monty Austinfort is enamored over Ty Simpson. He loves him, and he's gonna
Mhm.
draft him if he gets the opportunity to. We understand that, but we want to be devil's advocate and say, why are you gonna draft Ty Simpson and waste that pick? So
Yeah, well, and those are the conversations. I mean, from a fan perspective and somebody who knows that the Cardinals have to get better. Why wouldn't you have those conversations where it's like, hey, do we need to draft Ty Simpson right now? Right now, let's say we do take David Bailey at 3, and then let's say at 34, Ty Simpson is available, but also the best tackle on the board fell out of the first round. Not, best tackle
not
on the
the
board.
best,
I'm
but
saying
one of the good ones.
Ihanakorn.
Yeah,
Let's say
Yannick.
Ihanakorn is available at 34. Do you skip on him just for the fact that you are reaching on a quarterback and still going to most likely draft a quarterback next year? I
Yeah.
think the answer's got to be no. I think Ty Simpson's your backup plan if all the tackles that you like get taken, and then you
Yes.
take him at 34. I think that's just the best strategy. And it's nothing against Ty Simpson. Just, hey, you went into this draft class as the second best quarterback, but also people see, you've only started 15 games. There's bad track history, a track record for players in the NFL that had your same amount of starts.
Yes.
And you struggle, especially at the end of last season with blitzing in your face. So, it's all on the tape and it just is what it is. So,
Hmm. And in the scenario you were talking about, if we ended up with David Bailey, if we draft Ty Simpson at 34, he still doesn't have the protection we need for him
yeah.
to be elite. So we're not even setting him for success in that point. So I don't know. I think it would be a really big mistake for Monty Austin for to draft him if that was the case.
Well, and speaking of setting him up for success, if you draft him, you need to draft him to play him so that he gets more snaps. He's not going to get better because he's sitting again watching somebody play. He has to get snaps. So he needs to go to a team where he's going to get those growing pains that are required for somebody who's only had 15 starts in college football and is now
Hmm.
going to the NFL as a starting quarterback. So,
Yeah, and that's 100% right with the track record. I'm not sure of all the different quarterbacks that have that track record with the 15 games. The most recent one that I do know of on the top of my head, it was Anthony Richardson, and we've seen how that played out, right?
awful.
And the crazy thing was Anthony Richardson actually looked like a freak in college, so I wasn't
Yeah.
even mad at that at the time. And Ty Simpson's the opposite. He's not a freak. He literally
Yeah.
looks like Brock Purdy, but we know Brock Purdy proved himself and he was a seventh round Mr. Irrelevant. Like that's how I see Ty Simpson, and I keep shitting on him, and I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel right now. And as we
Yeah.
get closer to the draft, I feel like the Cardinals are. It's more and more likely that we're going to draft him, and we're gonna have to eat our words here at Desert Dynasty, and he's gonna be our next quarterback. But at least I can vent out my frustrations.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that brings up that
Sad.
brings up what we were talking about is basically what do you think is the most advantageous move for the Cardinals? Would it be to stick and pick at 3, or would it be to trade out of the third pick?
So before the David Bailey news, let's say he got taken second,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what, I'm trading down, to be quite
Mm-hmm.
honest with you. I get as much draft capital as you can, try to get 2 firsts this year, if not get a first and a second, and don't move out of the top 12.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if David Bailey is available, you've got 2 options. You could take the best pass rusher in this draft, arguably, um, or you can use that to your advantage and get even more picks, more draft capital, maybe this year and possibly some next year if somebody really wants to jump everybody and take David Bailey. I mean, at that point, you never know if maybe the Titans want to move up one and they give up a first and a third or a first and a second, which really is at the top of those drafts or those rounds. So that could be good. I mean, me personally, I'm all for trading down just
Mm-hmm.
because I like this draft class a lot for all positions except for quarterback. And I mean that's really what we need and what we're building this year. So
Yeah.
trade down for me.
And I agree with that. I think the hard, I don't know, like like what Ricky would say, what's gonna bring juice to this franchise. I know that's
Yeah.
what he always says. And Jeremiah Love brings all the fucking juice. He's so talented in my eyes, and he's so good at running the football. And I feel like the Cardinals, we have an identity of running the football, and we always have. So it's like bring in that guy to help transform our offense with our new head coach. I think that brings in a lot of juice. I would love Jeremiah Love here at the Cardinals. Um, and I even am fine with taking him in at 3 overall. And I know I'm crazy for thinking like that when we have so many other needs. But like I've been saying, what I really want is to take Jeremiah Love. I mean, if we could trade down and land him, even better. But Jeremiah Love, first round, second round, take a tackle. Best tackle available, whether that's Max Iancor or Caleb Lomu, whatever, Spencer Fanu, any of the good tackles,
Mhm.
take him at the second round. And then third round, see again best available player, whether it's a defensive lineman or if it's a linebacker, somebody you think. And then in the fourth round, draft a quarterback, Carson Beck, Drew Aller, Garrett Nussmeier. That's like the dream scenario for me. Actually, not the dream. That's what I want, because the dream scenario would be to trade down and get that. That would be
Yeah.
insanity because we got even more draft capital and we still landed the players I liked. But I understand the need for drafting David Bailey if he fell to 3, and even drafting or trading down and then drafting a top tier offensive tackle like Francis Mauigoa and the Caden Proctor from Alabama, who we did get top 30 visit today. That was a breaking
Yes,
news
sir.
thing, which I loved him. I was so surprised we didn't interview the kid from Alabama because he's
Yeah.
usually available in the 20s on mock drafts, which I
Hmm.
doubt he goes 20s. I think he's just as talented as all the other tackles and could
Cam
easily go
Proctor.
top 10 because he's amazing. At least top 15. So
Yeah, it's really he falls
there's
because
a
of
lot of
need.
talent.
I mean, a lot
Hmm.
of teams have some tackles, but they don't have a
Yes.
quarterback, or they have tackles, but they don't have a full team, so they're
Hmm.
drafting other positions. I mean, for instance, the Chiefs, like they're pretty solid on tackle, to be quite honest. Like they can get by without drafting one till like the second or third round.
Yeah.
Um, they need a corner so bad because they just traded away their top corner. So they would go corner now, and then in the
Hmm.
second or third they're going to go tackle. So I think honestly, I think how this draft is going to unfold, we can still trade. I don't know, to 8 to 12 and get Jeremiah Love. That's what I feel. I
Yeah.
think the only way he goes top 10 is if somebody
Trades up
trades
for
up
him.
for him or reaches on him. That's just
Yeah.
how that's really how I feel it. That's why I'm like, hey, I don't think he's worth it at 3 because I think we can trade down and get him
And get
and get
him.
more value for this draft. I just think that's really what could happen. And we talked about it. We could stack up
We
this
did.
year and then next year. I mean, imagine how much more we could build on the offense, and we could just be amazing if we find our quarterback of the future.
And that's what I hate about the draft is you can't predict who's gonna
It's
fall.
hard.
And I
Yeah.
would love to trade down and draft Jeremiah Love. That's like elite NFL draft type. Like you can't draw that up. I just have a bad feeling he's a top 10 prospect that if we traded outside the top 10, if we went 8, I think that's realistic. Drafting him 8 where the Saints
Saints
are,
are.
that I think would be realistic. He fell to us because it's right before the Chiefs. I'm scared about the Chiefs, and then also that's it, right? And
No, I'm
oh,
not
and
scared
and
about the
Titans.
Chiefs.
Titans really want him too.
Yeah, I think that's a smokescreen. I think they're going defense no matter what. That's just how I feel.
Mm,
I
true.
think they're going. That's why I think if David Bailey's available, we might get a trade offer from them.
From them.
Or to be honest, if I'm thinking in Salah's head, I'm going Ruben Bain no matter what.
Yeah, you're
Just like we
right.
thought.
Just
Why
take
would you
Ruben
not go
Bain.
Ruben Bain? That is a steal at
Yeah,
4. He's a
I've seen
monster.
Bain go to the Saints as well before in mocks, which is
Dude,
a steal for them.
I did a mock draft where he went like 12, and I was like, "There's
There's
no
no
way that's
way.
happening." I was like, I restarted it. I was like, "This
Yeah.
isn't happening. Let me change my board because that's impossible." So we'll see, though. It's
To
going to be
answer the
interesting.
question was, I think it's advantageous for the Cardinals to trade out of the top three. Um, Even if David Bailey falls, maybe I'm gonna eat my words. Maybe David Bailey's legendary. What if we pass on David Bailey and he's like the next freaking Von Miller or something?
He doesn't
Oh
look like
well.
Von Miller.
Yeah.
He looks maybe like Michael
Nick
Parsons, if
Bonito.
anything.
Nick
Nick
Bonito.
Bonito is his comp, but I haven't watched Nick Bonito that much, so I can't say. But I thought he was more of a power guy, and that's
Yeah.
the exact opposite of David Bailey. So I don't know. I can't speak on it because I haven't watched their film. I haven't even watched David Bailey's run stopping film
Yeah.
when he
Mm-hmm.
gets engaged because his highlights are just insane. But that's the biggest thing for him is as his weakness is that he like struggles once he gets latched onto and running in the running game, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared of. Our running game was atrocious last year, which is why we could never get to the passer because we were trying so hard to stop the run, and then we overplayed it, and then we wouldn't blitz, and
You know
then
what's
we would
crazy? I feel
just
like we low key shut down Christian McCaffrey last year, and that kind of went like talked about. But it was that one
oh,
linebacker. What was his name?
Mac
Mac
Wilson,
Wilson shut him
and then he
down,
got hurt.
bro. And then he got hurt. But like we still lost those games, so I can't say we went off. But
Was it because the defense's fault?
it
So
exactly. So Christian McCaffrey, I don't know. Maybe our run defense is okay. We'll see. It's
yeah,
so hard to talk about the Cardinals because we lost so much games.
it's really tough, and because I mean, you just never know what our team's going to look like at all next year, and
Yeah,
to a point, just like a side note that I mentioned, I don't know, I think at the beginning of this year or last season, which is we're going to see if Nick Rallis actually ran his defense or if he was running Gannon's defense.
yeah,
So that's
which
going to
would
be a
be big
focal point of
tell,
this year.
big tell.
But yeah, so you want to stay and pick, but you want to pick
Yes,
Jeremiah Love no matter what. And
yes.
I want to trade down. And if Jeremiah Love is available, we
Falls.
get a
Let's take it.
steal.
Yeah,
If not, we pick best player
best
available,
player
which is
available.
hopefully a tackle at that point. So,
Well, we talked about this scenario before, but I'll just bring it up on podcast. Um, we trade with the Cowboys at 12 and 20. There are reports out there that are saying the Cowboys are interested in trading up with the Cardinals, but they don't want to give up their 20. They only want to give us one first this year, so it would be a future first. So I think the package would be the 12th pick, a future first, and like a third, and then they get a third and like maybe a fifth or something, or they get the first, third overall pick and then like a fifth or something. Which I don't like. I'm not in love with that trade package
mm,
because we only get one pick and it's 12, and so that's outside the top 10. I do
mm,
like the future capital move, but it's Green Bay's pick. They're always in the fucking playoffs, so it's gonna be a
always
late first rounder. I don't like it. I'm
20s.
not in love with that trade scenario.
If they don't give us both, let's say David Bailey falls,
Yeah.
they're going to want him very badly.
Hmm.
Worst case scenario, they want Sonny Styles really badly as well.
Yeah.
I do know that. So you're going to have to trade up. If
Hmm.
you want one of those players really bad, I think you're going to have to trade up with us or the Titans. The Titans are going to pass on the best defensive player available. So you have to trade up with us.
Hmm.
Um, so I think you have to give us both of your first this year if you want it. I understand maybe they want to use 20 and get more draft capital to like the second round and stuff,
Hmm.
but it it is what it is. You put yourself in this predicament.
Yeah.
Rebuild next year, okay, partner.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And I'm in the same boat. Is I'm not gonna accept anything less than 1 in 20 because, or
yeah.
whatever, 12 and 20, because that's what we're deserved. And if you're not gonna
Mhm.
offer that, then I'm gonna just take David Bailey.
Yeah,
Sorry, not sorry. He is a talented player. I'm not gonna pass on him just because
facts.
you want him. I'm not gonna take what you want. You're gonna give me what I want, or I'll just take it.
This is what I would
Um,
say. If you get a call from the Cowboys, immediately you answer, you see what they want. If it's not 12 and 20, you say, I'll give you 5 minutes and then hang
Make a
up.
decision. Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
just hanging up. I'm not even
Because
giving
you
you the
hold all
time
the
to answer.
power. You have all the power. It's like
Yep.
don't don't let like Don't falter it, Monty. And I don't think he would. I really
Yeah.
don't think he would. So, but let's just say for this scenario, we got 12 and 20. The draft plays out and then 12 comes and both Jeremiah Love and Jordan Tyson are available. Adam asked like who would I take? And I told him, man, I hate to say it. I hate to say it because I love Jordan Tyson, but I would still take Jeremiah Love.
No, no.
No.
I I'm gonna have to. This is my thing. Next year is gonna be loaded with receivers, but Jeremiah Smith is gonna be coveted. That's your receiver next year to go
hmm
after. If you don't get him, there's a obviously a drop off between everybody else. Jordan Tyson is up there with Jeremiah Smith. That's my personal opinion.
hmm
I think he might be a tiny step below, and that's just because injury history. Um, so with that being said, you take Jordan Tyson and you don't risk Marvin Harrison Jr. being a bust.
This year, yep.
If he's a bust, guess what? Jordan Tyson. There you
Is
go. Number two receiver, MHJ. It was nice having you. We're trading you for a third rounder next year
yep.
and cut your losses. Sometimes that's what you have to do as a team
Yeah.
and just a human being. You got to cut your losses, but you
Yep.
also got to have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Jordan Tyson is the
Is that
best
backup
backup plan you could
plan?
possibly have.
I
So
wouldn't. Hey, I wouldn't cry at all. I would still be
I would
excited.
cry with happy tears.
Happy to. I would not be mad. I would love Jordan Tyson in the Valley. It would
Yeah,
be insanity. He's an amazing receiver, and I really think he's very talented. And he's gonna be a dog wherever he goes.
yeah.
Um, but like I said,
I know.
I'm so enamored over Jeremiah Love. If he fell to 12, there's no way I would pass on that because of how
Yeah.
talented he is. And we need a great running back for this team. I know we signed Algier, and I know we have
Mhm.
James Conner, but they're both aging. And also, Algier was a backup running back for Atlanta, no matter what you say. Um, Unfortunately, he was, and there's a reason why they drafted Bijan. So I think,
Well, Bijan was amazing. That's why they drafted Bijan
yeah,
because he was
yeah.
crazy.
But that's why we would draft Jeremiah Love. He's crazy.
Do you think that he's better or as good as Bijan?
Yes, I personally do think that.
Okay, so I understand your take then. If you think he's as good as Bijan,
hmm
I would take it in a heartbeat. If I knew his career would be just like Bijan Robinson, I'd say sure,
hmm
do
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
But I'm just not a believer of that. That's why I
yeah,
disagree.
yeah. Well, the good thing too about Love is he has history. Like he was at Notre Dame, his whole time, and he did play. He started before the season, and he had high hopes going into the season. So
He did.
he has experience,
Mhm.
um, and he's fast as hell. Four
I
three
will
six,
say he
crazy.
does fit our scheme really well, not as the power back type, but as the
hmm
patient zone or wide zone cutting, just like one cut and you hit the hole. And if you make
hmm
somebody miss, you're one on one with the safety. That's a dream for every running back.
hmm And I
Now,
I hate to throw comparisons
yeah,
because you know it's so stupid because everyone's different, but Christian McCaffrey is one of one. No one's
he
ever going to be
is.
Christian
He
McCaffrey,
is.
but he reminds me of Christian McCaffrey with his elusiveness and his backfield like catching abilities. And I know that the Mike LaFleur comes from Kyle Shanahan. He has that, background. So it's like, can we emulate the freaking 49ers? Like, let's just say this is not what I love or what I want, but if it happened this way, if we ended up getting Jeremiah Love and Ty Simpson, we basically are the Niners, kind of. We got Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey.
Hey,
So it's
well,
like,
if we get an additional third round pick, we could take Jonah Coleman. He's a shorter running back. He's
yes, he's
5'8",
good.
220, but he's from Washington and he's insane.
Yeah, I love
So,
that.
I mean,
He's a
that's
great
why
running back. He's a great running back.
I just think for certain positions there's players that we could get based off our scheme, we can get the same
That would
amount of
fit it.
production out of,
Okay.
as what we would get for Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
That's
I
just
just don't want
schematically.
another freaking Trey Benson thing, which he did crazy at
Yeah.
Florida State. We drafted him in the third, right?
Yeah, third round or maybe
And
the second. I forget. but
All I
he
know is
was
that he
hurt.
didn't pan out at all, and
He
I
didn't.
don't want that. But like you said, you have to take your shots, and it wasn't like he was a bad prospect. Trey
Yeah.
Benson was supposed to be pretty good. So,
I will say this. There's certain positions at certain schools that I just don't trust. If you're a corner from Florida or if you're a DB from Florida, I don't trust you, to be quite honest. If you're anybody from Florida State, I really don't
yeah,
trust you. The only guy I remember panning
it's
out
Jalen
was
Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey.
Yes.
So Jameis
S-
Winston, everybody
Yeah.
thought he was going to be crazy. We saw how he turned out.
He was crazy in
Um,
college, my
he
God.
was
He
crazy.
was so
He
good.
was so good, dude. And then quarterbacks from Alabama. That's
Yep.
another thing. It's I'm just like, I don't
Yes.
trust you. I don't trust you whatsoever.
I don't know
So
what like woke up in me today that I finally am like off the Ty Simpson train,
I'm so
but
happy for you.
it happened. It happened. And maybe it was because I actually turned on his tape and I'm like, man, this guy's kind of mid. He's
He's
kind of
mid,
mid.
right? That's what
He's
I'm
not like
saying.
bad, and you can see the flashes of talent. It's just like not in the first round talent. You know what I mean? Like,
He's good at processing coverage. That's what
yes,
I can say. He's good at processing coverage. But
hmm
it gets interrupted when you're blitzing him.
yes, and
That's
you pressure
that's
him.
his tick. He does not if he can't comfortably go through his progressions,
He
he
sucks.
panics and then his accuracy's off and it's like that's our whole division. Our division is going to blitz the
Yes.
shit out of you
Why do you think Kyler Murray sucked half the year, bro?
because
He's a great quarterback, but he can't fucking pass. He can't
once
pass it
teams
when he gets
figured out
sacked.
if you blitz him in the middle,
Yep.
he's washed. All you have to do is keep him inside the pocket at that point
Yep.
and you win the game. That's
Yep.
it. Because he's short. He can't see over the lines. If he was 6'2", Kyler Murray might be the greatest quarterback of all
Of
time.
all time. You're for
So,
real.
but he's not.
Oh my God,
So
dude.
that's the end of the story for him. Like that's what it
Yeah.
is.
Man, I'm
It's
excited though for
sad.
this draft. That brings up the next topic is what is the worst case scenario in this draft in your eyes and paint the picture for us. What happens?
You know, it's so hard for me just as like a person who loves doing mock drafts and stuff, like what the worst possible scenario is.
Mhm.
Um, Jeez. I kind of painted one for myself earlier and I restarted the mock draft because it pissed me off.
Yep.
Um, I did a trade back with the Eagles for the 23rd overall draft pick.
Mhm.
They gave us their first this year, next year, and a second rounder this year. Well, that's at the end of the first round. I accidentally waited too long and didn't trade back up. But let's just hypothetically say that the Cardinals can't trade back up from 23 and they're stuck at 23.
Yep.
Well, all your favorite players are now
Are
taken.
gone.
You're taking the scraps of whatever tackle if they aren't already taken. There's no receivers at that point. There's no edge rushers because I think Messidor is getting taken. So at that point, you're forced to take one position. Also, next year's first round draft pick, if the
That's
Eagles,
gonna be
based off their
late.
track record, goes to the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship
20s.
again, great. You got one of the 4 last picks in the first round next year. That's not helping you.
Yep.
So, and then at that point, then you didn't really help yourself this year at all. You take a tackle, and then what are you doing in the second round? You have no idea at 34 what you're going to do. Who are you going to take? Caleb Banks? I'm not going to
Mhm.
lie to you. He's a third round pick. He should be based off injury history and production.
Caleb Bates, the
So
D tackle.
defensive tackle from Florida. We hosted him for a top 30 visit. And I know we talked about it last week about taking him in at 34, but that's because we already took 2 prime positions, when we had 2 first rounders. But if we don't get 2 first rounders and it's this scenario, I mean, Caleb Banks in the second, that's going to be a disaster.
Yeah,
And
that is a
then
disaster,
I,
100%.
I feel like for a team in the NFL draft, like you can rebound great, but at the same time, you can only pick who's left on the board. And if you
Mhm.
get to the third round and you've got mediocre talent in the first and second round, I mean, awesome for it. You could just quit right
Yeah,
now
you can
and
hand your resignation in.
let LaFleur just pick the rest of the draft picks for you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Dude, that is
so
a terrible fucking scenario, dog.
I
That
was,
sounds
it
depressing.
was so bad. And I'm so scared for that to happen. Like, if that happens,
Yo,
dude, I might just go to practice early on Thursday.
yeah,
Like,
you're
let
like,
me leave.
peace. See ya, Desert Dynasty.
Yeah,
Yo,
what
so
about
I
you?
think one of the worst scenarios, I'll paint two pictures. We stick and pick at three, or we
Okay.
trade down. If we stick and pick at three, one of the worst case scenarios is drafting Arvel Reese, in my opinion. If
I
he somehow
know.
doesn't get drafted to Cardinals, for some reason love him and they take him, that is just so bad. That's bad news. And anybody in the comments wants to debate me on that, he's not going to be contributed to this Cardinals team for another 2 years, which we
Hmm.
need somebody to contribute next year. We don't need it, but like I want contribution on year one,
Yeah.
especially from a first rounder. Maybe Arvel Reese can develop and get better, but I don't want to do the freaking Isaiah Simmons project again.
Mm.
Um, and then, after we get Arvel Reese third overall, then it comes to 34, and we take Ty Simpson because he fell to 34 because he isn't a top first round talent, and the Cardinals take him at 34. Yeah, we got Arvel Reese. We don't have enough offensive lineman to block for him, and we also got a line off ball linebacker, number 3 overall. What the hell are the Cardinals doing? Okay, and that's first and second round, and then it goes to the third round, and then we end up with that tackle from Northwestern.
Ugh,
Um, let me
Tiernan.
look. Yeah, Tiernan, Caleb Tiernan. Like he's not bad. Honestly, I'm not mad if that was the case. But he's gonna be the player that I'm like, okay, who's gonna actually contribute to this class? So far, it's Caleb Tiernan, and he's a third round pick. Like that is worst case scenario, in my opinion. And we didn't even have to trade down for that.
Just raised my blood pressure right now. So
The second scenario would be we trade, with anybody. Let's just say, for example, the Cowboys, we get 12, and then we get a future first and a third rounder, the one that's been mocked. We don't even get 2 first rounds. So we pick at 12. All of my favorite players are gone at 12, aka Francis Mauigoa, um, Jeremiah
Ruben
Love,
Bain, Jeremiah
Ruben
Love,
Bain, everybody that I love,
Jordan Tyson.
and Jordan Tyson. So we're stuck with picking Spencer Fano, which we didn't even give him a top 30, so it probably wouldn't even be him. It'd probably be
The guy Caleb Proctor.
Caleb Proctor. Which I'm not mad at 12, but it's not my favorite thing. I think the first case scenario is worse, but it is what it is at 12, and then we get Caden Proctor, and then goes to 34, and then Ty Simpson all over again, right? If we get Ty Simpson at 34, I
I'll be
guess it's a
so
better
mad.
case scenario because at least we have someone to block for him. Still not amazing. And then we go to third round and draft the best available player
Who
at that point.
knows?
Who knows, right? So it would just be kind of a mid draft. That one is better than the first case scenario. The first one was bad,
Yeah. Oh
bad.
my, I would be so
Arvell
mad.
Reese, Ty Simpson, and then the the guy from Northwestern, Tiernan.
Yeah, Tiernan.
Terrible draft, bro.
I was reading up on Tiernan a little bit more before our podcast today. The NFL Network player analysis said that he doesn't use his length well, and he's
Mm,
kind of like I forget the exact word he was using, but he's kind of stiff in the midsection, and
yeah.
so he's better suited as a guard. And they in the run game he
Damn.
doesn't anchor himself well, but he's good at like lateral movement. So really at that point it's like you're drafting a run blocking right tackle who
Tackle.
can't pass
Yeah.
block. That doesn't sound good to me.
Uh, no.
So I mean, I guess that's why he would fall to the third.
Yeah,
But
I think that's why he is going in the third, but still.
I mean, I'm not happy about that. They said they were saying his ceiling is a swing tackle.
Ugh,
I
that's
don't
a
like
terrible
that. So
ceiling. That's a
you
terrible
literally
ceiling.
gave the worst possible
Yeah,
like draft we could
scenario.
have. And it
Yo,
made
if
me
it
want to throw
happened
up.
too, my God, I don't know what I would do
I'd be so stressed out all week.
because Arvel Reese is still the one that I'm like, man, don't mess this up, Cardinals. Like that's an easy pass, easy pass.
My boss comes to me every single day he sees me and he's like, "So how are the Cardinals? Like, what do you think they're gonna do if we draft Arvel Reese and then Ty Simpson and then Tiernan in the third?" I'd be like, "I'm not even
Yeah,
a Cardinals fan
yeah.
anymore.
We
Like, I'm
can't. We're gonna be
Uh,
bad another season no matter what.
Ravens, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know at this point.
Wherever Jordan Tyson goes.
Oh my gosh. Which, by the way, Heinz Ward is announcing his, like, wherever he goes, he's announcing him.
Oh, for real? Let's
Yeah.
go. Hell
Super hyped for
yeah.
that.
Dude, I'm
So,
excited.
heck yeah.
Um,
Ah, well, damn.
to not have it end on the freaking bad note, because we don't want that. Um, basically, who do you think that are the one or two players that we can land in the second or third round that can be actual game changers for the Cardinals and that are realistic because we either gave them a top 30 or it's a need, right?
Yeah, so just to kind of give a little hint to our listeners and our viewers here who are watching, we are going to be doing a 3 round mock today, and just keep these guys in mind while we are going. If we get to the second round, a target if he falls is Zion Young. He's an edge rusher from Missouri. He got compared to Max Crosby,
Ooh,
and on film he looks like Max Crosby. If you haven't watched his highlight tape, go watch him. He's insane.
dang, Zion.
Really, really like him. Um, and that's in the second round as a target. Another edge guy, TJ Parker from Clemson, extremely productive. Okay. Highly recommend. If you haven't watched his film, go watch him as well. And then Jacob Rodriguez, I've preached him. And
Mm-hmm.
if you don't know about him, you didn't watch college football this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's an amazing middle linebacker who I highly recommend the Cardinals drafting if you want to create turnovers, because that's all he
Right.
did last year.
You know what's crazy is Jacob Rodriguez was, his draft talent at the beginning, like in February or whatever, was fourth round, and now he's skyrocketed all the way to the second now, dude,
And
which is
some mock
crazy.
drafts have him going to in the
In the
first.
first, dude, I don't, I believe it. I believe it. He's that talented. I
Yeah,
remember a couple of the early mock drafts. Adam was able to get him in like the third and fourth, and I was like, dude, no way,
it's
that's
not
not
going to
real.
happen.
That's not real.
He had such a good combine. Who are you thinking in the second round? Any targets that you're thinking of?
So, man, I've been so like just stuck on this first round that I haven't even been dissecting the second and third rounders. But the main ones I always come to mind for me are the tackles. Max Iamonchor or Ioncor. I don't even know how
Hmm.
to pronounce that. Is my favorite pick for the second round. It would be amazing if we somehow it landed, uh Jeremiah Love or David Bailey, and then we ended up getting Max in the
Yeah,
second. That would just be two very talented players that could easily, you know, produce for the Cardinals. And I really like him. And I still love Francis Mauigoa, but for some reason we never gave him a top 30, so I really doubt that the Cardinals are going to draft him.
yeah. Based off Austin Ford's draft, or yeah, draft record, yeah,
Hmm.
we're probably not going to go with him, unfortunately. Now, in the second round, in the later, if we do end up trading back and we don't get some of those players, keep an eye out for Kalen Rutledge, offensive guard from Georgia Tech. We
Hmm.
also had Chris Brazell the second, a wide receiver from Tennessee, I believe, on a top 30 visit. So maybe we want to go wide receiver. He does have talent, so but he's a raw talent, so we'd have to develop
Yeah,
him. And then my personal favorite, I want him so bad, Keontae Scott from Miami. He's a
he's a
DB. I'm
beast.
not even going to say he's a corner, a safety, a nickel, because he does it all. And he loves hitting and he loves creating turnovers. He is a monster. If we get him in a second, we're solid.
Is he early second
I've seen some mock drafts have him go early second. I've seen some where he goes
in the
late
middle?
second. It really just depends on how the draft board falls, is what I'm gonna think.
Okay.
So we'll definitely see what happens with him. But I think if we trade back because whatever reason we don't get those guys, even if it's like 5, 10 spots and he's on the board, take Keontae
Hmm.
Scott.
Yeah, and I also see Cassius Howell. I did watch his tape. He's the edge from Texas A&M. He's
Hmm.
great. Great edge rusher. I really think he can easily contribute to our edge rushing room.
Hmm.
If he's available in the second. I don't know if he's gonna if we would have to trade back in the second. I don't think he'd be the 34 talent to get him at 34, but I
No.
like him a lot.
Yeah, and he was actually projected at some mock drafts to go in the first round at first, but he has even shorter arms than Ruben Bain,
Oh
and
my
so
gosh.
and he obviously weighs less than him.
Yeah,
So that's why he's starting to fall a little bit. I'll be surprised if he goes out of the second round, but then go to the third round. If he falls to the third round, I think, with us having, I believe, the
easy
first
pickup.
overall pick in the
Yeah,
third, right? Yeah.
yep,
If you don't take an edge in the second, you go edge in the third and get Cassius Howell. Now, I think if he's not available, which I doubt he is, we need to go back to offense. I think Skylar Bell, wide receiver from UConn, I think he ran a sub 4.4 40. He's got
dang,
burners
let's
and he can
go
catch the ball. I mean, he's a monster for UConn. He went crazy at
for
UConn.
UConn.
He made their
Jeez.
quarterback look good, and that's why they're projected to be a seventh round pick or maybe be
Yeah,
an undrafted free agent this year. So the Skylar Bell, he's amazing. And then another guy that we actually had a combine visit with, you probably know his dad, Josiah Trotter,
yep.
linebacker for Missouri. He's a monster. He really is. He needs some work in the passing game, but he's a run stopper, and that's what we really need this year.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people excited about Josiah Trotter, especially in the third round. That's where he's mocked to go. So if
Mhm.
we need a linebacker, we do. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
mad at the pick, but also we need to address our defensive line. So another player that I really like was Caleb Proctor. He's a D lineman from southeastern Louisiana,
Oh yeah.
and he's really good. And I'm pretty sure we had a top 30 visit with him. So
I believe so.
but I do think he's a later third round. I know we have the first pick of the third, so it's kind of tricky if you're the Cardinals. I think it's easy to trade down at that point to get some more capital, and there's going to be a lot of players available if you trade down in the third.
Yeah, he's projected as like a late third, early fourth.
Hmm.
He obviously went to southeastern Louisiana, so he's got some technical points that he just needs refining because he
Hmm.
didn't get that from that school. But I think talent wise and athleticism, I believe he ran like a 4.7.
Hmm.
I mean, he's got all the talent in the world. Now they did have him as an interior defensive lineman. I think he would move to the outside or
Hmm.
what is that, like a five technique or something like that?
Yeah.
So I think that's more his speed, but a crazy talent. I would love to draft him.
Would he be more like a Roy Lopez versus like a Walter Nolan?
He plays like a Walter Nolan, but
Oh, he
he's
does?
the
Okay.
size of an edge rusher.
Got
He's
it.
like
Okay.
he's like 278 or something like that.
Yeah.
So he's not a
So not
huge
that
guy.
big.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if he can get through guards, then that's all that matters.
To be honest, his first step is electric. It's unstoppable.
Hmm.
That's why he was so good at that school. Now, when you get to the NFL, obviously that I think he's going to get bigger. Is really what's going to happen. He's probably a
Yeah.
max like 285 play weight, 289,
Yeah.
and that's perfectly fine to me. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, man, I'm excited for the draft. Those are some key names to look out for. So stay tuned to the draft. Obviously, we'll keep you guys posted next week when we do cover the NFL draft. But um, that leads to our next segment, which is, like Adam said, we are going to have a mock 3 round draft for the Cardinals. So we don't pick the other teams, but we'll show it on the screen, and also we have one caveat, which I'll pull up my screen real quick.
yeah, what we are going to do just while he's pulling it up, essentially, we know that Mendoza's going first, and then
Yes,
just as like our little hey, what's up? We're gonna have Arvel Reese go to the Jets just because of all the news
from
that's come out
today.
today and our comment from our listeners. So, um, yeah, now we
Yeah.
start at three.
And we wanted to push ourselves into the position that David Bailey's available for the Cardinals. What are we gonna
Hmm.
do? He's available. So with that being said, Adam, we are on the clock. Fernando Mendoza got taken by the Raiders, and then Arvel Reese got taken by the Jets. So we have the rest of the NCAA class available to us at 3. What are we doing? What is your thought process?
Yeah, so I just to kind of jumble my brain and see, what would somebody offer me? I like to click the little trade button there. For instance, for me right now, I'm doing it with you essentially. I'm getting one from Dallas. They want our first, our third, and a fifth for both of their seconds. I think that's absolutely
Heck
not.
no. Yeah.
Baltimore wants to trade us their first, second, and third, so 14, 45, and 80 plus a fourth rounder next year. It's intriguing, but like we've talked about, we don't want to go outside of the top 10 really. And then
Oh,
Houston's offering us a first and 3 seconds, including one next year for our first and fifth. I'm not sure I like that. What do you got though, Sefa?
San Francisco is offering us a first this year and next year, and then their second and a fourth round this year, which
It's
I'm not in
intriguing,
love with, but it's a future first rounder, which is intriguing.
but they're always in the
But that's
playoffs.
such exactly, and it's such a late pick, so that we'll say no.
Can't do it. Yeah.
Houston is giving us a fifth. I'm sorry, they want a fifth and a first, but they're gonna give us 2 seconds and a first. Again, it's too late. The picks are way too
Yeah.
late. But this next one is what I'm intrigued with. Miami
Perfect.
gets gets three overall and then a fourth, and we get both their first, which is 11 and 30. That's what
Now,
we want, right?
that's quite literally the one we did in our first round mock draft, and what I think will likely happen, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
So,
Let's just say for this mock draft, this purposes, this is what we want. Okay, so we are passing on David Bailey. Let's just say that right now. We're passing on
okay,
David Bailey.
passing on
Yeah?
David Bailey.
All right. We're going to accept the trade with the Dolphins and we're going to get picks 11 and 30. What did
Okay,
they get? Carnell
so they
Tate, just
got,
like what we said last week.
yep,
They traded up for
exactly.
Carnell Tate. David Bailey goes to the Titans. The corner from LSU goes to the Giants. Francis Mauigoa to the Browns. Sonny Styles to Washington. Ruben Bain to the Saints. Jermon McCoy, the corner from Tennessee, to the Chiefs, and then Caleb Downs to the Bengals. So we're on the clock at 11. Guess who's there still? My favorite boy, Jeremiah
All right.
Love.
I do
Um,
like it, but just for the sake
let's
of
just
this,
look.
I mean, there is Caleb Downs available, no? Oh, no, he got
No, he
taken at
got
10.
taken. Yeah,
Okay. So, I mean, you got Jordan Tyson, you got Jeremiah Love. And then the question is now as well is how much do we love Caden Proctor? And do we think we can get him at 20
we go 30 next. Remember?
or 30?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't think we can get Caden Proctor at 30, but I do think we can get Max, and I'm fine with
Max
getting
Ianacor?
Jeremiah Love and Max Ianacor.
Okay. I agree. So what you would do in this situation is Jeremiah Love.
hmm That's what I would do over Jordan Tyson.
Okay, let's do it. Jeremiah Love at 11.
Steal.
It is a steal. And
Monroe
this is
feeling.
the scenario that we did last week.
Yes, yes.
And it's the scenario which we really think is going to
Oh my
happen.
God, Makai Lemon
So
ended up in LA.
Makai
What a
Lemon. Oh,
steal.
I do see that they really want a receiver, or I mean, for instance, Junior took that tight end from Oregon. I think that's dangerous if they get that tight end.
Yes.
So,
Kenyon Sadiq
um,
goes to the Eagles. Akeem
yeah,
Masidor goes to the Bears. Concepcion to the Bills. Oh, Ola Vega goes to the freaking Niners. What a steal. Okay,
Vega.
so let's go up and just review real quick because this is first round that really matters.
Yeah,
So Monroe Freeling goes to the Cowboys, Makai Lemon to the um, Rams, Jordan Tyson to the Baltimore Ravens. I love that for him. I would love that for Jordan Tyson. Keldrick
yeah.
Falk goes to the Bucks. Ty Simpson, what? To the Jets at
To the Jets at 16,
16.
which I've seen that a lot.
Wow.
I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, they wanted their guy, Rick. Sorry, bro.
If the Jets
Uh,
don't go there at 16, he's going to go to the Steelers
yeah,
at 21. So,
yeah. Spencer Fano, the tackle from Utah, goes to the Lions. Dylan Thieneman goes. The safety from Oregon goes to the Vikings. Caden Proctor, our guy from Alabama, offensive tackle, goes to the Panthers. The corner from Clemson, Terrell, is goes to Green Bay. I mean, sorry, the Dallas Cowboys, which they needed a corner really bad. Caleb Lomu goes to the Steelers. Not a bad pick. Peter Woods. goes to Chargers. Kenyon Sadiq to the Eagles. Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver from Indiana, goes to the Cleveland.
You're cutting out a
Akeem,
little bit.
my bad. Akeem Mesidor to the Bears. Concepcion, yeah, we said. And then, yeah, Ione goes to the Niners. Blake Miller to Texans. Zion Young, edge to Kansas City. So we're on the clock again. So we got the second pick is from Miami. They gave it to us.
Mhm.
Like I said, Iana Core is available. Thank the Lords.
Yep.
But we can take a look at other.
To me, if Max Iannacor is available at 30, you don't even look. You run
Yep.
to the podium and you draft him. That's what I think. You need a tackle,
Cause
and he's so good. And we brought him on a top 30 visit. You know, Monty loves to draft his top 30s.
mm-hmm.
So,
Let's do it.
and this is the exact draft outcome that we did last
This
week.
is
So,
literally what happened last
the
week.
exact same thing. Now, what's crazy, I'm running a little mock on my side, and Ty Simpson's available at 34 right now. Obviously, we're not going to take him,
Oh yeah?
but that
Dang.
would be crazy.
Okay, so we ended up with the freaking dream. Like I was saying, this is the dream for the
Yeah.
Cardinals. If we're able to trade down outside the top 10, we can still land Jeremiah Love and a top offensive tackle, and then we still get to
Yes.
draft 34, the top of the second round. This is the dream right now. We're living it. So, what do we do here? We can easily take the best defensive tackle available, which Caden McDonald falling outside the fucking first round is kind of nuts.
Yeah.
I don't think that's realistic. So should we just not say he's available?
Well, it might really happen. Now, what we do want to look, let's go back to some of those people we were targeting, right? So,
Hmm.
first and foremost, Zion Young, is he available?
Zion was edge.
Uh, yes. No. Okay, but TJ Parker edge is available. He's projected to
Yes.
go 43. Okay. Okay.
We also need D line, so that's why I was suggesting Caden McDonald
I do like D line, but I also feel like we can get D line
later in the draft.
later in the draft. I think we go with um, linebacker, corner, receiver in this area. Really, what I think in this scenario, there's no
Jacob
player
Rodriguez.
available. Jacob Rodriguez, yeah. Do I want to reach on him right here? Just a couple picks, yes. But looking at the people following, I don't think the Titans are going to take him. And the next person who needs a linebacker is the Giants. I don't think they would take him. So um, I think we could trade back and get him. Now, what do you think with that?
I honestly think we would take Caden McDonald if he fell outside the first round
You think so?
because D line is a need and he's, a mauler.
He
I
is.
wouldn't be mad at that. We get to shore up
I
both sides
wouldn't.
of our line, both sides of our
Yeah.
line, and we already got Jeremiah Love.
No, I'm with that. I definitely agree. Now, would you, if Caden McDonald is available at 34, are you once again running to the podium, or are you listening to offers to see if you can trade back?
I'm probably running to the podium just because you get a top 25 talent at the 34 pick. That's a great. That's a
And
great.
and Austin Ford loves his Ohio State players.
Yes, exactly. He gets his Ohio State kid.
So there you go. Yeah, I
Cool.
think if he falls to the second at 34, take him. Let's do it.
Dope. Ty Simpson's gone too, Junior. Sorry, bro.
All right, bro.
Now we're going to the third round. This is where we start targeting best player available, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some of the people once again that we talked about Skylar Bell, UConn,
Yep.
Grayson Holton from Oklahoma. He's great. Josiah
Hmm.
Trotter.
Yes,
Uh,
Trotter.
Now, one guy I didn't mention
Keith
before, but
Abney.
you got to start thinking about a replacement for our center because starting to get up in age, and you need somebody to learn underneath him. Parker Brailsford. He's a center from Alabama. He's an absolute dog. If you haven't watched his film, go ahead and watch it. He's a beast. I think it's important to look at possibly replacing him. Now, if you do trade back at third, I think Jake Golday, a linebacker from Cincinnati, is also great.
Mhm.
Um, but then you could go best player available if you trade too far back. Michael Trigg, Eli Stowers, tight end. I mean, do you think we go tight end in this draft? Because I have a feeling, based off of like how the Rams offense was, I have a feeling we might draft a tight end because they're so athletic in this
Mhm.
draft. What do you think?
Honestly, we could. It just depends on how the draft board falls out. It's kind of crazy if you look at this mock. Caleb Tierning went in the second, bro. The tackle from Northwestern to the
Yeah,
Patriots.
that they need one really bad, so they might have just had to reach on him, you know.
Hmm.
So
Just crazy. And Jordan Price, that running back from Notre Dame that sat behind Jeremiah Love, went to the Seahawks. Ooh, what a pick.
which might happen because they
Yeah,
lost what's his name? So
the Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker. Yeah.
Um, so we currently sit at the top of the third, 65. We can trade down. My biggest recommendation is if we didn't like who was up here, we would trade down to see what we could get. But like you said, Josiah Trotter is available. And also, that's a position of need. And we like
Okay.
him. Um, I'm not
What
sure what
I'll
else.
say, I want more draft picks. I
Hmm.
mean, if you're Monty Austin for it, are you not wanting more draft picks? Because for me personally, that's what I want. I want more picks. Um, for instance, the Dolphins have 3 third rounders. I believe another
Hmm.
team has multiple third rounders. That's kind of scattered. Let's see. Browns have 70 and 75. They also
We
have
gotta get,
90.
we have to get
So,
above 68 because I think the Texans are gonna draft Josiah.
and they might, but if you think about it, we are getting our linebacker back.
Yeah,
So,
Mac Wilson.
and then we also have somebody who showed a lot of promise last year in the Ohio State linebacker. I think you have to look receiver.
Let's see
Um,
who's available receiver wise. So Skylar Bell is available, the Yukon guy that you
yeah,
really
Skylar
like.
Bell. I like Jacoby Lane a lot too.
Yep, USC. Who
Um,
are these guys on top? Jeremy Bernard,
Not a big fan of him. Antonio
Antonio
Williams
Williams,
was injured all last year. That's why I'm not a big fan of him. Ted Hurst is really fast. I wasn't impressed with his film personally.
Skylar Bell, and
So,
Jacoby Lane you like more, which we could easily
yeah.
trade down and probably get one of those two.
Yep. And Bryson, whatever
Elijah
his name is
Surratt, I
either.
liked him too.
Yeah, Elijah Surratt. Zachariah Branch is really big. The guy from North Dakota State is actually, what's his name?
Bryce
Trey
Lane.
Lance's brother. So,
Bryce Lance, wow, that's
yeah.
crazy.
So, and they went to the same school, I believe, too, which is crazy. But
All right, so we should trade down probably just for
I think
hell's
I
sake.
think trade down. Yeah.
Okay, so we got a trade offer from the Saints to pick at 65. I mean, 73. That's not bad. And then a
And you get a
fourth and a
fourth and a
sixth.
sixth. What's Washington?
We pick at 71, but we
No,
only get a fifth. And this is hell no. Way too late in the
no.
draft.
I would say go to proposed trade
Yep.
and just see who has multiple picks. So first and foremost, the Browns. The Browns have one. Can you get 70 and 90 for 65? The answer is no.
Yeah.
75 and 90. Okay. So who's the next guy? Dolphins. Would they want to trade back with you again for 87 and 94? No, probably not.
Nope.
And that's perfectly fine. So
Do that Saints trade that
I
was
kind of
offered.
like the Saints trade. Yeah, you
Let's do
get
it.
an extra picks. So yeah,
Four
do it.
and six. Let's go. All
Yeah.
right. Cool. Who do they trade up for? Let's see. Antonio Williams, wide receiver. Hmm. Now there's a run on receivers. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, figured.
Sam Hecht. I told you they were gonna
I
take him,
know.
bro. I knew
I
it.
know.
Jacoby Lane. Fuck.
That's
All
okay.
right, that's all right. Skylar Bell's available,
And
like we
Skylar
said.
Bell's available.
We'll do that. I think. Don't you think?
Yeah,
That's a
I
great
like
pickup
Skylar Bell a lot.
at 73.
Yep.
Cool.
And you got the player you wanted, and you got 2 more
Yes.
draft picks.
So we
So
did kind of what you're supposed to do as a trade partner is you have to have a couple players that you want and you're hoping one of them falls, which that was the case, right? It was Josiah Trotter,
mhm.
it was Jacoby Lane, and then Skylar Bell. So we ended up with Skylar Bell, which is
It
fine.
does suck to see Josiah Trotter leave, but I really think Skylar Bell is him. I think he's
Yeah.
going to be really good in this league, to be quite honest.
Hmm.
Um, and so, I mean, now you've got insurance in regards to MHJ and injuries, because I don't think we're very deep at receiver
Yeah.
right now. So I think it's important we get a nice little rookie.
So for all of our non-YouTube watchers, I'll just tell you what our 3-round mock draft ended up being. We ended up trading down out of the top 3, and we traded with the Dolphins and got 11 and 30. They proposed this trade. We didn't have to force it, so I'm kind of happy about that. But we ended up getting Jeremiah Love at 11 and Max Ianacor at 30. All great value for both. Those are both like highly
Dream
valued.
scenario.
Yeah, look at Jeremiah Love. He's pre-draft rated at 5. We got him at 11. Max Ianacor is pre-draft rated at 29. We got him at 30. Amazing. Caden McDonald, D tackle for Ohio State, graded at 24. We got him at 34. Hella great value. And then Skylar Bell's rated at 67. We got him at 73. So we got highly rated players with more capital in our pocket. Cardinals killed it. 4th round draft Drew Aller or Carson Beck. You're good to go. This would
Yeah.
be an A+ in my book, and I would love this. And this is dream scenario. Here
Yeah.
at Desert Dynasty, we make dreams come true. So, with that being said, we ran over. We've been going over for weeks now, but do you have anything to add, Adam, before we close out today?
No, nothing else to add. Oh, actually, I do have one thing. First and foremost, shout out to a longtime head coach who did pass away. What was his name again? I'm sorry.
Coach Mack.
Coach Mack. He was one of the ones who was really important in the Cardinals getting the stadium that they have now, and moving out of Sun Devil Stadium. So rest in peace to him. Everybody's saying how great of a person he was, and and really helped those young in their career, and really just rip to
Yeah.
him, and we appreciate him for everything he did for the Cardinals. So.
Hell yeah. And I told Kat too, those early 2000s freaking starter jackets were so cool. Those OG
Yeah.
and he was wearing one obviously when he was coaching here, so I was like,
Yeah.
dang, nice
Yeah,
drip, Coach Mack.
he was an OG coach. He's the coach who helped us get through like a dark era
Oh
of
yeah.
Cardinals football. So yeah,
Rest in
I
peace, man.
kind of want to go watch some games just because I hear that there's this like their defense played so hard for him even when they were losing, and the offense played so hard for him even when they were losing. And I just want to like watch that,
Yeah.
just like to see old school football be played. I think that'd be amazing.
I
So,
love that, and I miss that old school football. We
yeah.
obviously grew up in the early 2010s, and those were our years. But man, we got to look at the OGs and shout out to them because they are the ones who laid the foundation, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Alrighty. I
all
think
right,
that's it for
y'all.
us today, though. Huh?
We love y'all. Take it easy. Have a great weekend, and also can't wait for the next week because we're literally gonna know what happens, and we're gonna be live, and we're gonna be like, "What the hell, Monty? Don't mess this
Thursday.
up."
Next Thursday, tune in. It's gonna be a crazy
Hell
draft.
yeah.
So excited. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Later.
Take it easy.